Yeah, this is my cameraman right here. My cameraman and camera sidekick. Hard to keep them focused. Want to shoot a video, but this is what ends up happening. Bear with me. We'll start here in a minute. Okay, so I've got a lot of questions about the inrush current before my soft start install and then after my soft start install. So what I'm going to do is just try to put together a quick video demonstrating the inrush current or the lock rotor amps. For this, I think this is a 4-ton AC unit, if I remember correctly. We can do the math on that and figure that out. But I'm going to do the inrush amps with the soft start disconnected, and then I'm going to do the inrush amps or amperage draw on startup with the soft start hooked back up. Okay, so before we start, I just want to talk about a couple things that are important to doing this measurement. So we've got a couple numbers here on, this is a Train XR 2021 unit, so this house is fairly new. But the two numbers I'm going to talk about, one's more important than the other, but the two are RLA, that's rated load amps, also known as full load amps, which is FLA right below it. But that's more or less referring to like the steady state current when this AC is running at its intended load. So that's more like its normal operating conditions. What is the current that it's drawing during that steady state condition? And usually that kind of determines like the wiring size that you're going to set up on this unit. Now the other number is LRA, that's locked rotor amps. Think of it as like the initial startup. This is the number that we're really more concerned about. It's basically telling me that we're at 124 locked rotor amps, which is what this AC unit is rated for. Now, let me think of a good analogy to describe that that makes sense. So try to think of like a cart. Say you're pushing a cart, and that cart's got a bunch of bricks in it. So think of that initial push, that initial sort of force to get that cart started. That would be what you kind of would refer to as locked rotor amps on this AC unit. It's that initial amperage or current draw that is taking place on initial startup, and that's because the motor is in its stopped, locked, condition, and that initial startup takes a lot more amps than your rated load amps, which is just your steady state running condition. So for this particular video, we're going to focus more on the locked rotor amps. That's more important because that's what the soft start is really dropping down and allowing us to run a generator on this house with most of my appliances plus this AC unit. So that's why that's important. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this panel off and I'm going to disconnect the soft start, or actually I may measure it with the soft start first. Then I'll disconnect it, hook it up without the soft start, and then I'll show you the locked rotor amp, the inrush current that it draws whenever we start it up. So kind of, pre and post, soft start installed, soft start not installed, okay? I didn't want to show you the tedious stuff, just removing this cover. There's just 4 screws. Took the 4 out, pulled the cover down. I have that in another video if you want to see how that's done, but anybody can do that. No big deal. But what is important is, again, making sure that you pulled power up here, and then discharging the capacitor. That's really important. So there are 3 contacts on this capacitor. There's a HERM, which is your compressor. There's a fan, which goes to your fan, and there's a common. So you just want to go from common to HERM and common to fan, and just make sure you've discharged all of that energy out of this capacitor. Think of it as a battery that just discharges extremely fast. So this could have a lot of stored energy, and you mess around and touch that without ensuring it's discharged, you're going to be wishing you didn't. You might pee your pants, in fact. I don't know. I don't want to test that out. So now that this is discharged, you can see that I can touch that. No big deal. Again, this is DIY. Be careful. Don't. This is like, take this as instructional, not something I'm telling you to do, but just something that's informative and may help you in your journey to installing a soft start yourself. Okay. So I have got a south wire. This is a 21050T multimeter. Not bad. It's not the best. Generally I like Fluke multimeters, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this around my hot legs here, and I'm going to measure the current coming through this on startup. Okay, and then I'm going to do this first with the soft start installed, and then I'm going to basically wire this without the soft start, and then show it again running the inrush amps as it would from the factory. All right, we're going to see if we can get inrush currents on one of the hot legs here on this HVAC unit with the soft start installed. So let me put this on. Okay, we're at about 9 or so, 9 to 10, just continuous running amps. That's full load amps. And we should have got the initial startup as well. So I'll have to go back to the video and see what that number was. But we'll point that out. And let me pull the power. Let me measure the inrush currents on the other leg. Okay. All right. Put that over there. Now. So I saw about 23, 24 rated load amps, that inrush. So let's just say a nice even round number of 25. 25 inrush amps to start up this AC, and about 10 or 11 on continuous steady state running. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull power, and now we'll just connect all of this and we'll get the readings without the soft start. It's going to be a little bit of pain because I've already wired all this up, as you can see. Like, show all the wiring here. So I'm going to have to rewire this, which is a little bit of a pain because I've already done this, but I want to show you guys the difference between the two. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on the first video because it was getting late. So I'm going to disconnect all this just for y'all and show you what, yeah, I'm going to show you what we get without soft start. Okay. All right. Okay, I think I saw 93. I think I saw 93. We'll have to go back. Could be wrong. Go down to 10. So let's pull this. And I don't recommend doing this with your air conditioning unit, your HVAC unit. I'm doing this for the sake of science and DIY YouTubers here, but I am taking a risk of damaging my unit by doing this. Let's go over this leg. Let's get back here. All right. 81. Saw 81 on that. Down to 10. Okay. Let's pull it. And again, I don't like starting and stopping this thing, you know, but I am doing this to try to get some numbers for everyone, and we'll go back, we'll slow them down, we'll just look at it. It is what it is. If the soft start does an amazing job, great. If it knocks off a few amps, okay. It is what it is, right? So I'm just trying to bring you accurate facts for this AirGo soft start. And again, my unit could be different than yours, but you know, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get one more. I'm gonna put it over this black leg because I really it's so fast. It's hard for me to do this in real time. I'm doing my best to try and see that flash of inrush, but it's super hard. So I'm taking a chance here by doing this over and over. Here, let me discharge the capacitor, because I think all of this matters, right? This is not an extremely scientific test here, because I'm sure when I have been doing this over and over, not discharging the capacitor, that is energy that's already stored, allowing it to start up with some existing energy that's in the system. So that could be taking some of the amperage off. I don't know. Again, you guys will have to help me out in the comments on that. That could just be totally nonsense, but it makes sense. It's logical to me, because there is energy stored in that, and that is what helps start up your fan, your compressor. I've had many capacitors go bad over, I'm 50 years old, so I've had many of these go. I've had at least 3 or 4 of these go in my lifetime, and that fan will not start. It would just go and sit there without that capacitor. So it definitely does matter. It could be affecting the results here. All right, let's do one more. We're gonna get up close. This is the last one with the soft start not hooked up, okay? I saw 49 really quick. So I've seen a range of numbers here. And again, help me in the comments. Could be because I'm unplugging it and plugging it, and it just could vary based on where the motor position is, possibly. Stator in the motor could be in a different position. I don't know. Again, these are things that I'm not an expert, but I'm doing this to show that these results could vary. But I am going to show you the difference with it hooked back up. So I'm gonna hook it back up, and I'm going to do a couple more with the soft start hooked up, now that I've done several with this disconnected. And I do believe I've seen 90, but regardless, I did see I think upwards of 50 or so. So let's disconnect. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to show you, I'm going to remove the power here, and if you kind of come around from the back with the camera, I'm going to disconnect common to Herm, common to fan. Okay, common to Herm, common to fan. And we're going to make sure, we have no power there. All right, so what I've done, the soft start essentially bypassed it. I've just taken it completely off, but I'm going to put it back. Luckily, now everything is mounted. So this is going to be the compressor wire. So it's going to run right into there, and I'm going to tighten that. Okay, and then this is my ground. Let's put the ground in there. If you can see that, the ground wire. Okay, you don't want to over torque these. And then this is a little connector. We're going to put that in. That's your 24 volts powering up the AirGo unit there. And then now we got a ring here, ring terminal. So I'm going to go through that ring terminal. So that way this one, I didn't want this to work loose. So this ring terminal is going to go right back onto the contact. I believe this is number 21, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I have another video with a soft start install. So if you want the details of the install, go to that video. Now we have our soft start connected. Let's make sure, we'll double check. Everything looks good. We got our ground. We've also got a shit ton of gnats out here, which is really fun. So yeah, you're welcome. Doing this for my YouTubers who have really wanted to know the before and after. And get this nut. Good Lord, this dog is losing his mind. Quit distracting me, Gizmo. All right, okay, so we're hooked back up. We're not gonna make this a long-winded video. Let's get back to business. All right, let's get down and good and close on this right here. So now we got the soft start. We're going to see what numbers we get on startup. "23." You can definitely tell. I don't know if you can hear that through the video, but I absolutely can tell you that the fan is starting up after the compressor. No question, it is staggering the startup of the compressor and fan. So just that itself, no question, is helping something like a generator start up an AC unit, but it's also alleviating a lot of that load on the circuitry, and I do believe this helps the life of the unit. That's just me, you know, again, known to be wrong many times. But if you look down here, you know, we're going to go back to this other leg, and if you listen carefully, I don't know if you will, but I can definitely hear the compressor start up, and then I can hear the fan, and the fan starts up even a little bit slower. No question about it. Now that I've done this over and over again, with that soft start off, that fan and compressor just is full power instantly. When the soft start on, no question, it is staggering, and it's just raising it up at a nice linear sort of fashion. So see if we can listen, but more importantly, let's go down here, let's get a number on the startup. Here we go. Soft start installed. Start up. We're going to look at that number. $27. Okay. And the gnats are absolutely ferocious. So, my God. Okay. So, 27. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we were upwards of 50. Maybe even, I thought I saw 90 once on there, but I could be wrong. We're going to slow it down. We're going to analyze all this and give you the results in just a second. All right, folks, our numbers are in. So let's talk about them. With our AC soft start, our locked rotor amps, essentially the most important number that we want to focus on in this video, that describes the inrush of current when your HVAC unit starts up. With the AC soft start, our average ranged from 18 amps to 25 amps. Without our AC soft start, we averaged 3 times the amount of locked rotor amps average, from 50 amps all the way up to 95 amps. Pretty significant difference there with and without the AC soft start. So I hope this video gives you the information and the tools you need to go out and purchase a soft start. I personally picked the AirGo, ranged in the $200 range, which was a nice number for me. If you want the Bluetooth capability, you can go with more expensive units. But the AirGo, it was simple to install, the support was top notch, and the numbers back it up. I mean, you can see that I'm saving 3 times the amount of locked rotor amps, or that inrush of current, which to me is what I needed, because I want to be able to power my house in emergency. For we have hurricanes here, so when we lose power for several days, which may only happen, you know, every 3 years or so, but trust me, when it happens, you want to have that capability to power your house. And honestly, for me, I need AC because I'm a software engineer, I have a software company, I need to power my computers, and I have to keep them cool. So it's super important for me to have the capability to run that generator and power my AC unit. And it does that. I have another video showing powering my office and powering my, my refrigerator, essentially a lot of things in my house, along with my HVAC unit starting up, which is great. It's exactly what I needed. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention is the static running load, the load that after you get that initial startup, just your average running amps, it settled down to about 11 amps or so with and without the soft start. So don't go out and buy a soft start thinking it's going to save you money with your AC unit running, for 30 minutes or 45 minutes with your average amp load being lowered. Soft start's not going to do that. Staggers your startup of your compressor and your fan, and it just essentially allows it to start up in a linear fashion, saving you just that inrush of current and allowing you to do things like power your AC with a lower price generator. And my generator is a Duramax generator, 13,000 watts, and that's on gas. On LP, I believe it's around 11,000. And in my other video, I show you that on LP, I was able to power all of my lights, power my refrigerator, power my, extremely custom water-cooled PCs, power my laser projector, power my stereo, which was like a 1800 watt stereo. So I was able to do all those things with a generator that's under $2,000, which is pretty incredible. So I hope this video is helpful. I went through all of this trouble to unhook my soft start and pull the fuse on and off, on and off, on and off, which is not really the smartest thing in the world to do. But in the sake of DIY and showing you guys the difference between a soft start install and without a soft start install, I thought it was necessary because I keep getting those comments saying, hey, I wish you would have done that. I wish you would have done that. So guess what? I did it. Here's the video. At the very least, maybe I could get an extra subscribe or two out of this, and help others out there. It's all I want to do. I'm not looking to make any money or anything. I just like helping people. So spread the word. If anybody needs any video help or any help around, showing videos demonstrating soft start installs or, powering your house with a generator, happy to help. So again, thanks for your time and watching this video along with my other long-winded videos, and we'll see you next time.